This is Midrash Tanchuma, Midrash Behaalotcha, entitled The Formidable Test of Jewish Leadership. Now you may ask right off the bat, what are we talking about Jewish leadership here? I don't even see that in the Parsha. But again, you have to appreciate that the Midrash looks at a Parsha, sees a theme, and then expands on it and takes us to a different realm. So because the Parsha is talking about the Leviim, the Levites, so the Midrash feels compelled to tell us exactly what it means to achieve Jewish leadership. Because after all, the Leviim themselves went through tremendous tests. If you recall, they were the ones who did not take part in the Chet Egel, and then Moshe, in his famous words, Mila Shem Elai, asked who is going to come and join me to kill out all those who are participating in the golden calf. And that meant even killing members of your own family, because it could have been a Levite who married into another tribe. And so here you have it. The Levites heeded the call and rose to leadership. So now the Midrash is talking about leadership in general. And it gives an amazing two examples of how leaders are tested in a more formidable way. The first one is Boaz, and when the famous story that we read on Shavuot in Ruth, the story of Ruth, that when Ruth was lying by the feet of Boaz, so the Midrash tells us something extraordinary, that there was, I guess you call it the Yetzer Hara, there was an evil inclination within Boaz himself, even though he was a great scholar and head of the Bet Din, and he saw this, this beautiful woman lying there, and this voice said to him, she's available and you're available. His wife had died, and it's permissible for you to have relations with her. So you see that the evil inclination was actually using the power of the Torah. It wasn't saying, hey, she's beautiful, why don't you take her? No, saying within halakha, it's permissible because she's now available, you're available. It's kosher, it's okay. And of course, he didn't want to give into this temptation, so he made a shvuah, took an oath that he wouldn't touch her. But you see the deviousness of the evil inclination. Another case with that happened with David HaMelech, who of course is related to Boaz, and David HaMelech, as you know the story, that's spelled out in the prophets, that he was anointed king, and yet Shaul was still king, and Shaul was trying to kill him all the time. And one time he actually got Shaul in a compromising situation where he could have killed him. And again, this voice came to him and said, there is a Jewish law called Rodev. Someone's trying to kill you, you kill him. This man is out to kill you. You have every right, according to Jewish law, to kill him. But David did not heed to this voice, and he again also took an oath and swore that he wouldn't do that, and he walked away from that opportunity. So you see how, again, since the Midrash has shifted the focus to Jewish leadership, how Jewish leaderships are tested in such a formidable way. Another beautiful example, since we're talking about the Mishkan and the Menorah, so when Shlomo was trying to outfit the Beit HaMikdash, he built it, and he was trying to get in all the major vessels. So he was trying to ask the doors to open to let everything come in. They couldn't fit in, and I guess you opened the doors. So the famous pasuk where he said, "Hinasu pitrei olam v'yavo melech hakavod." Let the doors open, and the King of Glory will come in. Now the doors, so to speak, had sort of a life and a consciousness of their own, and they said, "What is this? Is this king so full of himself that he's saying he's talking to himself as this glorious king that we have to let in? We're not going to do that. In fact, we are big, heavy doors. We're going to pounce and fall down and crush him," because they themselves were also, worried about Jewish leadership, and that a Jewish leader be someone who deserves that role. And if this person has such audacity to describe himself that way, we need to snuff him out. But then Shlomo continued, saying, Hashem Tzavot Hu Melech HaKavod Tzelah. No, that glorious leader that I'm talking about, glorious king, I'm talking about God. Let God come in. Let God's presence come in. And then the doors realize, oh, okay, we should open our gates, because he wasn't full of himself. He was actually referring to God. So interesting. The Midrash says that these gates were rewarded, and that they were never captured. They sort of slipped into the ground. They were hidden, and of course that contradicts what we have all heard about the Ark of Titus, where they're carrying away the menorah. So the Midrash lists that the gates and the menorah were among the things that were hidden and never taken. Yet, on the Ark of Titus, it shows people carrying the menorah. So it could very well be that there were other candelabras in the Beit HaMikdash, and the one that they carried away was not the essential primary menorah that was lit every day. It was one of the other candelabras. There are much discussions about this, that if you look closely, it doesn't match up the way the menorah was described. In any case, the bottom line is you see the formidable tests of Jewish leaders. We, of course, one of the major themes of the Midrash is that we're all being tested all the time, but it seems the more responsibility you take as a Jewish leader, then your tests become even greater. So, the greater the responsibility, the greater the tests. Have a great Shabbos.